when you hold on, restart.
Don't cut the part out where I said I don't know.
Hey, it's Rip Roaring Realtors. We're back. And today we're going to be answering the internet's most haunting questions about real estate. So somebody go ahead. Popular from Twitter or Google. Just say where it's from. Or don't.
Or don't.
Who wants to start off with a question?
Go for it, Brunel.
First question. This is coming from a buyer. How much house can I afford?
Have you ever had a buyer ask you that? I have.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's usually the opposite. Like, well, I don't want to pay more than X.
Well,
Yeah.
how much house can you afford? If you put that into ChatGPT, it's going to give you a payment that you are not going to be comfortable with.
Shell shock.
Yes,
And
exactly.
A lot of people will come, how much house can I afford with a payment of $1,500 or $2,500? That's typically what we get asked most.
Yeah, I feel like you have to sit down, get all your finances out there. Like, every one of your Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus, get all those down there and figure out what your real budget is per month.
And what you can afford per month. Then you talk to a lender, because the lender is going to tell you what you are able to afford, but you need to know actually monthly wise what you want to afford.
Just because you're paying $2,000 a month in rent does not mean you qualify for a $2,000 a month mortgage payment.
No, just because you can does not mean you will.
And if your lender happens to say, you can afford whatever you want, I would definitely look at them with a little scrutiny, because that is not what you want to hear from a lender.
Yeah.
Not a good lender saying
Some
that
major
to you.
expenses that are not even taken into consideration in a pre-approval are going to be like childcare.
Yeah.
They don't look at childcare payments. Some people
Yeah.
pay like $3,000 a month in childcare.
Yeah.
So yeah, most lenders, I would say, are not going to come and give you your maximum payment that you're qualified for. I think they're going to figure out where your comfort zone is and work with you to find something that is find you a house that's going to be reasonable for that payment.
I think if a buyer goes to a lender just for a pre-approval and doesn't say any type of budget, then they're going to say, okay, you're pre-approved by a $500,000 house with X payment. But if that buyer says, okay, we only want to spend $2,000, then they're going to say, okay, you're going to be looking at more of a $350,000 or whatever.
Probably under that now.
Well, yeah.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on if you put 50% down.
Every situation
The
is
answer
different.
to every one of these questions is it depends.
So to the lender.
So we're going to be like just running in circles here saying, it depends.
Yeah.
But let's explain it.
There's so many variables. So interest rate, amount down, your down payment. If you're putting 20% down, you can go higher. If you're putting 3% down, you're not going to go as high for the same monthly payment.
Also taxes,
HOAs,
insurance.
I've seen people
DoorDash accounts.
who
No.
bought a house for $400 when they were only qualified for $350, but because the taxes were lower on the
Yes.
$400, rare, but sometimes it happens, then they were able to qualify for the higher payment.
Deferring by school districts, as a thing.
That actually brings us into a next question. What are property taxes and how do they work?
Way to transfer on
I
that
know,
one. Good
right?
job.
It's right here. So obviously every house has property taxes, but not every house has the same property taxes. Each district varies greatly.
Yeah.
With property taxes.
And each property has a different tax assessment. So the assessment office gives each property an assessed value, not related to market value. So assessment, appraisal always get confused, not the same. Your taxes are a rate based off of that assessed value. So that's how the taxes are calculated.
And your assessed value is typically much lower than market value.
Right. And we have an assessment coming up in
Yes,
27, right?
Correct.
Reassess.
Lucky
Everyone's
us.
taxes are going down.
Possibly.
No.
I know. I think I parked right behind.
Back to taxes.
Back to taxes.
Back taxes. That's another one.
We're not talking about. Okay. Property taxes and why it's important for you as a buyer to pay attention to those taxes when you're looking at properties. If you have a house that's $300,000 with $6,000 taxes versus a house that's $300,000 with $4,000 taxes, your payment is going to be much lower on the house that has the $4,000 taxes, because if you're escrowing your taxes into your mortgage, which most people do.
Yes. And
Math.
I've seen some houses where the list price is the same or the value of the property is the same. It might be, they're both two homes, both valued at $400, and one, the taxes might be $5,500 and the other one might be $7,500. And especially for the rest of us here, we sell in a couple of different areas across a couple of counties, different school districts. So all those taxes vary by municipality,
Greatly.
school district, county. So
Another thing too is new construction. New construction for a $400,000 townhome, your taxes are going to be so much higher than probably a $500,000 resale home built in the 90s.
I built one this year and a couple of years ago.
We're not.
Where I said I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's like a replacement value, maybe.
No, so the county does tax assessments, and they don't do it every year. So when you build a new house, they are taking the current cost to build as your tax assessment. So your taxes will be higher until the next reassessment, generally. They do, if it's in a county where it hasn't been assessed for 3, 4, 8 years, they may back it down a little bit. They might do like 80% of the cost or 60% of the cost, but that is what makes the difference between new construction and resale. Also, be prepared when you're building a new home, you have an interim tax bill.
Yes.
From the time it's under construction until the assessor comes out and puts the assessed value on.
Which is usually much smaller. It's just for the land.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done.
Are we done?
I thought it was like pretty efficient
I
there.
feel like we text that to death.
I know. Wow. Stay tuned for all the puns. It's Monday Pun Day with Brunel. What's next on our hot topic of
tax?
Hot topic. How much do I need for a down payment? Again, guys, it depends.
Wow, we're really going to start every question off with "it depends."
Well, I mean, it depends on your situation. You can go as low as 0 down.
Yeah, there are so many variables.
Yes.
Again, how much you need for a down payment. If you're putting less than 20% down, be prepared to pay a monthly mortgage insurance or an
Or pay it
upfront. Yeah. So there's some advantages to putting more down, and also with qualifying. What you qualify, the more you put down, the higher you can qualify. Simple
Yes.
math there. Interest rates play into it. When interest rates jumped significantly, we saw a lot of buyers fall out of qualification because the interest rate went up so that their payment, they didn't qualify for the payment to buy the same.
Because they couldn't put more down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rates went bazooka.
they did. But they're coming down.
And
It depends on
now-
programs too, right? You got conventional, you got FHA, you got
That's very
USDA.
true, yes.
Like, where are you going to? Like, because, all right, guys, just so we all know, when somebody's like, "I've heard there's a first-time home buyer program," it's not actually called that, but there's a couple different ways to do it.
But there are several different programs that first-time home buyers can utilize.
Utilize, yeah. It's just not
And-
called the first-time home buyers
And a
program.
lot of them are, a lot of the so-called first-time home buyer programs are for your primary residence and you don't own any other real estate. So if you own a second home or an investment property, you don't qualify for any of those first-time home buyer
If you say no
programs.
to either of those questions, you do not qualify.
If you've owned a home last year and sold it and you're buying again this year or next year, you're still technically qualifying for those programs. So we kind of eliminated.
But it depends. Like, I thought it's only 3 years or something. There's a question they were asking, right? There's some time frame. Like if you haven't bought,
you're
if you
right.
owned a home for like 3 years or
Yeah.
something.
There
I think-
is.
There's also
Maybe
there was some money out there if you're the first person in your immediate family to
Yeah.
purchase a home. Like if your parents never
That-
owned a home
yes.
and you're the first time buying in your family.
Yeah, there really are all kinds of different programs. Really,
Oftentimes they do come at a cost though.
Yes.
So I don't
Yeah.
have a whole lot of people that end up using them
Yeah.
because there is a cost involved that maybe it's a higher rate or whatever. It just seems to go better just going straight conventional. So it just
and
depends.
I've noticed a lot of banks
Keep it
say-
easy. Keep it easy. Keep it clean.
A lot of banks will say, "Oh, this is for our first-time home buyers," because it's a marketing ploy at that point.
Yeah.
Where they have this fancy program for first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
this also segues into the next question. I know I'm so
she's
good,
so good
at
at
this.
this.
What are closing costs and how much are they?
Oh.
Allison.
It totally
Well-
depends. And yeah, so if you have, if you're putting 20% down as your down payment, that's not the only money that you're bringing to settlement. On top of that, you need to fund your escrow account. You have to pay transfer taxes. You have to pay a couple small recording fees and broker fees. You have to pay title insurance. Those are the big ones. So oftentimes you're looking at
4% or so, I usually say.
Yeah.
Proration of taxes as well, depending on the time of the year, because school taxes and property taxes run in different realms. So it's January to December for property taxes, and school taxes are July to June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 to
And-
4%, somewhere in there.
So you're buying the house, the seller paid the taxes from January through December. And if you're buying it in February, you have to reimburse the seller from February all the way through. So that's going to be a higher closing cost fee than if you were buying it in December. But also you get the bill in January.
And it's
for that
prorated
tax.
daily.
Yes,
So
per day.
you're not paying like by month. What's the matter if I close on the end of the month?
And well, that plays into it too, because
interest.
if you close on the first, you pay a whole month of mortgage interest
Yep.
at closing. If you close on the last day of the month, you don't pay any of that. Yeah.
Then it also affects which day your first payment happens.
Yes. You stay and then you pay. So
Right.
you stay with a mortgage. You stay there for the month of January, and then you pay February 1st for the month of January. And then you stay there in February, and on March 1st, you pay for February.
Stay and pay.
So if you're settling in January, you settle January 1st, your first technical payment is not due until March 1st.
Which-
January 30th,
That's what she said.
not due till March.
I heard it. Allison, you want to pick the next hot question?
Sure. Let's see here.
You didn't bring your telescope to read that
No, I
small screen?
didn't. Hang on. Did it?
That's what my stepsister says I said all the time. Da 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 da. Or
You?
I think I say yada
Failed to
yada
load.
yada. I'm a yada yada
Oh,
guy.
here.
Let's see.
Pick a question. Any question.
I
Okay.
don't think so either.
Should I buy a house now or wait until rates drop?
Oh.
Okay, do you need a realtor, Allison?
Again,
Always.
Question.
Yes. I've heard economists say that if rates come down 1 percentage point, so we're around 6, they come down to 5, we would expect the prices of homes to go up 10%.
Ooh.
That's the number
Yeah.
that has been thrown out. And I
Yeah.
don't think anybody wants that.
And the internet doesn't lie.
But why is that? Because if interest rates go down, we have a lot of buyers, like Burnell said earlier, on the sidelines
supply and demand.
because these buyers were outpriced. You know, the interest rates were too high. They could not afford a monthly payment on a house, so they decided to keep renting or whatever. If rates go down an entire percent, all of those buyers are jumping back in.
So now you're back to 2021 competitions.
Yeah.
So
No, but
long
I think
story
that's all
short-
in theory because like, I was just reading
is.
something the other day. I've seen like maybe a 1/4 point per year reduction. So we'll be like in 3 years in the high 5s, something like that. I mean, mind you, if you listen to our previous podcasts where we thought about our little crystal
Yeah.
balls that were broken, we were like low 5s next year. We're full
We
of
were
crap.
wrong.
Wrong. Ever been wrong? Happened to us.
But everyone was wrong. Everyone was saying
Yeah.
that. Everyone was
whole-
claiming that.
All the guidance
Marry
we
the
were
house.
getting.
Exactly.
The marry the house, date the rate turned into a toxic relationship.
Now we're all
Well,
divorced.
And also, if you are in the market for a home now and you find a house that you can afford with today's current rates, get the house.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
as it comes down, it's an added bonus if you can refinance.
Exactly. You can't time the market,
Right.
guys. When you are ready to buy is when you need to buy. When you have the down payment you want, when your life situation, you know you want to buy a house and you're ready, that's when you buy a house. You cannot time the market and interest rates and prices. And
I just saw a reel the other day that was talking about like the last 5 years. Like, I should have bought a house. And it shows like the house amount in like 2020, 2021 each year.
Yeah.
I should have bought a
Yeah.
house and it keeps increasing every year
Yes.
because
Yes.
there's one thing that's consistent. I think I've said this before. If you look at a 100-year chart, real estate always an ascending chart. I mean,
Aside from a couple of dips here and
right. But if you frame it into 10-year periods, then it's actually never descending.
down.
It's
Right.
just consistently so.
real estate's a great investment.
buy it and stay for 10 years. And history
Call us,
would
maybe.
tell us
Yeah.
you won't lose.
Do great.
That's cool.
That's a good one. Good job, team. Good job, Aaron.
Good team. Okay, let's do some seller focused questions. What's the best time of year to sell my home?
Oh, yeah, because I feel like I just got asked this the other day. When is the best time of year to sell my home? And I say, well, I actually give an example of my friend Jason. Like, I think it was like 2020 when I sold his house. He's like, should we like wait to put our house on the market in the spring? I'm like, if you're ready to sell your house, just do it now. And then the whole world went upside down. So every year he does write me a thank you like post on Facebook because I'm like, if you're ready to move, make the move. Don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
The
don't
winter
look-
months is that the people out buying during the winter months and especially around the holidays, they are really serious
They are.
buyers. There aren't as many, but they are very serious.
The tire kickers. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
no one's going to go out to look at a house for the fun of it in the winter when it's cold
Yep.
and dark out and like, yeah. So
Get the pictures taken before the leaves
Yes.
come off the trees.
if you don't like a lot of people going through your house, but you still want to sell, winter might be better because you get less traffic,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still going to sell.
I agree.
I mean, but traditionally, spring, summer are the best times to sell.
Although I
Spring
felt
is
like this year,
usually-
summer's a little more of a lully. I don't know, that's just me. But spring good. I mean, fall's been great. Winter's
Yeah.
picking up again. So I mean,
it's weird.
we don't have a
Yeah.
crystal ball, but there's no predictability. Just if you're ready to make the move, make the move.
And what you need to do if you're thinking about selling your house, call your realtor and ask them, is right now a good time? Because maybe something crazy is happening in the market and we might say, no, let's wait till next month. Or
And it depends on what your circumstances are too.
Yes.
If you have to find a house before you sell, or if you can buy without selling, maybe now's a good time to start looking to buy, not necessarily to list your home.
There's always people looking to buy and always people looking to sell. So jump in when the time is right for you.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna transfer into another question here. I'm gonna answer it really easily. Can I sell my home myself without an agent? No, call us. Next question. Do open houses actually work? I think that's kind of a good question because I'm a firm believer in them.
I am too.
Just for getting people through the home who just might be casually looking, but
Yeah.
hey, I never.
I use them as a tool to just drive the timeline too.
Yeah.
So if you go coming soon on Monday and then you start showings on a Thursday or Friday, and then you have an open house Sunday, you can hold everyone off until after the open house if you get some offers. It just kind of dictates the timeline and the cadence a little bit. Also with open houses, it is about optics. You got a bunch of people walking through the open house. Anyone who's written an offer, they're keeping an eye on that house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they might come and then they see that all these people are there, and that definitely just drives the hype up a little bit on
Yep,
the house.
better
Yeah.
visibility. And you expose people to the house that may not have necessarily been
On the radar.
in the hunt for it. So it works. To be honest, it benefits us as agents to have an open house because you might find someone who wants to purchase a house, but also fills a pipeline for that home. So it works in multiple facets.
There's also another side of it that I don't really like.
You having to talk to people.
that?
I like talking to people. Being the devil's advocate, having an open house, if you have it scheduled out, do you get less showing activity because people are like, oh, I'll wait and go to the
I
open house?
do think that is the case now.
Someone
Yes.
can be like, oh, I'll go to the open house.
Yes.
And then they go through the open house and they don't give you correct contact information.
Right.
And you get an offer on Monday and they were really interested, but you can't tell them that they've got to make a decision by a certain time period because there's no way to.
To me, those people are not serious. They're not ready to make a
True.
quick decision
But
most
that's
of
where,
the time.
That's where I would go on the side of let's open it up for showings. And the people who are interested are going to call their favorite agent,
Me.
or one of us, and
I'll
schedule,
thumb wrestle all of you.
and schedule a time to go see it. Then, as the listing agent, I can reach out to every one of you who
Right.
showed my house and say, hey, I got an offer. Can you check back in with your people and see if they're still interested? So there's the kind of the flip side of an open house. I think it will decrease the number of showings and buyers contacting their agent to set up a time to go see it.
Yeah, I do think there's a little bit of something to that right now too. I have a listing right now that as soon as I listed it, I put the open house on and on the MLS. So we didn't actually not get a ton of showings, maybe 3 showings before the open house. But we had like
Did
50.
you negative there?
I don't know.
I feel like a triple negative.
Grammar teacher
No.
down there.
But we had maybe 3 showings and then like 15 people through the open house.
Yeah.
So,
That's how my most recent listing.
which is also not a bad thing though, I don't
I
think.
put it in the MLS with the open house, and I had 1 showing until after the open house. Then I had like
Was your open house successful?
People through,
See, and so as a seller, that could be a benefit. If you
Yeah.
don't want to have to leave your house 75 times during the week,
Yeah.
let's
There's
do an
that.
open house, and a lot of people will likely come to that open house.
And that's where we can kind of tailor it to your experience.
Yeah,
How do you
absolutely.
Want, how do you want selling your house to go? We can stack it full of showings for days. We can do open houses or not do open houses.
It's good.
Price it high for
I-
fewer offers.
Been liking lately is that there's really no set time you have to do an open house anymore. They
I know.
only used to be Sun,
Yeah.
and now we see them 5 to 7 on a Thursday, and people
And
can hit it.
I'm
on
just
the way
saying
home from work.
Thursdays are like
It's my favorite.
under the radar.
I agree. I agree.
I just did Saturday 11 to 1. It was
Yeah.
great.
I love 11 to 1. It doesn't
done-
eat up your whole day.
Yeah,
Yep, I've
1
done
to
like
3.
a 10 to 12 on a Saturday and had great traction.
Okay.
Yeah. So
One more question, then we're going to wrap up this week's episode of Hot Questions from Google.
only one.
I know.
Okay, so then let's do
People don't listen to
market
us
and
for 45
process
minutes.
questions.
What?
What?
Which one are you pointing
happens
at? You
in a
just
day?
I was gonna say we could go into something like that. We could go into something about contingencies, or more up here. We're not gonna go there.
Down here.
Yeah. Okay, pick one.
Question on, there's a couple of them I can tie together here with what is escrow and how does it work? And what happens on closing day? And what was the other one? Can I back out of buying or selling a house after signing a contract? They kind of all go together.
Yeah.
So
take it away.
Yeah. Escrow is when you sign, seller signs buyer's list or agreement to purchase the property.
Yeah, you did.
On a Pia.
House is listed for sale. Buyer submits an offer. The seller signs the offer.
There you go.
You're now under contract and in escrow. There is then a deposit amount that is taken from the buyer and held by a third party to protect both parties so that the seller can't run away with the house and the deposit, and the buyer can't keep the deposit and never buy the house. At that point, you're in contract. The deposit's made. Can you back out? Is there a good reason to back out? Also
For
ties
buyer or for the
into
seller?
contingencies in the
Yeah.
contract.
It depends if there are contingencies. You cannot just change your mind. No, that is not a
I mean,
legitimate reason to get out of a
You
contract.
can,
I
but you're
don't
going
wanna,
to
and
lose
you
your
can't
money.
make me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can back out, but you're going to lose your money. If
Right.
you put $20,000 down as that earnest money deposit, you're going to lose
Yeah.
it if you just back out for no reason. So
If
don't
you
do
just
that.
change your mind.
Yes. It
If-
just depends how you wrote the offer. If you're a buyer and you
Agreed.
wrote the offer and you removed all contingencies on the offer, you are shifting all of that risk. You're taking all that risk off the seller's plate of any reason that you can walk away from this deal. And the reason for that might be maybe there were multiple offers on the property. You wanted to put your best foot forward and you wanted to ensure the seller that this is getting to closing. You're going to remove all your contingencies. If the seller doesn't perform, if the seller can't get to settlement, then you would get your deposit back.
Yes.
But yeah, if you write an offer with no contingencies, you're not getting your deposit back if you get cold feet.
And
So
also, as a seller, if you change your mind and decide not to sell,
Be sued.
That's what I said.
and you can
You
be on the
tried.
hook for the cost of the appraisal, the cost of any
Yeah.
inspections, or any of those things could be something that comes out of your pocket as well. So
Yeah, it's very important to remember and be told the contracts that you're signing as a buyer and a seller, they're legally binding contracts. So your agent should be very on top of all of your dates and, all those things. I know we've gone into that on a podcast before, but the ways that you can get your money back as a buyer if you back out is if you have those contingencies in place. So if you have not waived the contingencies, if you have elected an inspection contingency, you take an inspector through and you find out that there's a huge hole in the roof that the seller was hiding. You can back out and you can get your money back.
also, the downside to the inspection contingency is for the seller, you can walk in with your inspector and be like, oh, the doorknob squeaks. I don't want the house anymore.
Right. It's a very, very wide range
Yeah.
of reasons that you can back out. Really, it can be any reason for that time period.
Which is why sellers are taking offers without inspections.
Yeah.
They're not worried about the quality of their house 99% of the time.
Right.
They just don't want an opportunity for the buyer to change their mind.
It's
And
easier.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for the seller to not have to deal with those contingencies. So if they're getting an offer and they don't have to deal with those contingencies,
Yep.
you're going to take it over one that has inspections. And
Agreed.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Gotta return
Till
some
next
calls.
time, party on, people. Catch you on the flip flop. Call us for any of your real estate needs or general conversations.
We're here for you.
Here for you.